Hello friends, how is everybody doing today? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Kylie Hilliard, the owner of Superb Social Media, where we help businesses gain visibility and credibility through social media while at the same time removing the confusion, the stress, and the time suck out of doing it yourself. Because I know you're very, very busy. You don't have time to mess around on the internet all day, right? But lucky for you, I have time. So today we are checking in for your weekly dose of social media insight. And today we are talking about how to find articles to post on the internet for your business. And why would you even want to do that? So I'm going to jump right into this, and I want to remind you of something that I just said at the beginning because it really plays into exactly why you would do this in the first place. So let me we'll get there. So remember in the very beginning when I said that what we do is we help businesses gain visibility and credibility. So how do we do that? First off, we put you out there on social media. A lot of times people don't have time to do these things for themselves, so that's where we step in and we kind of help make that happen, okay? So we help them gain visibility. We can see you, you're out there, great. But also we need to help people gain credibility because it's not enough to just be present. You need to make sure that what's happening is actually valuable for the other person on the other side of the screen, we'll say, consuming whatever type of content you're putting out there. So because of that, we have to think about how can we do that? What are different ways that we can increase our credibility even though we're here? I'm not talking to you directly right now, even though whoever just tuned in to watch, I'm watching, we're talking, right? Well, I'm talking to you. But the point is that somehow I have to establish credibility. And one of the easiest ways to do that is to educate people. Educate people about you, yourself, about you, your industry, about why you do what you do, these kinds of things. And
sorry, could you say that again?
I should have known. Sorry, I didn't take
I'm
off my...
having trouble hearing you.
Gotta take off my watch there because Siri thinks that she's part of this conversation, so I apologize. But the point is that we have to find a way to make credibility for us, basically. And so you can post about yourself, you can post about your business, you can post about why you do what you do, who you help, different services that you offer. These are all things that help increase your credibility. But another way is to make sure and show people and let them see that you know about the industry as a whole. So one way that this happens is that some folks will post an article about their industry on their social media. So as an example, maybe you're a real estate agent and you're going to post an article about your industry so that people can see, oh, look, I'm paying attention to what's happening in the industry. I'm not just out here floating blindly. I actually kind of have an eye on what's happening, what the pulse is in my industry. And so the big question is why, and the answer to that is because it helps you to gain credibility because it shows that you're paying attention to what's happening in your industry. So how would I even find these articles becomes the next question. So basically you would go with industry publications or other reliable sources of information. Keyword reliable, okay? You don't want to put something out there, you haven't read what it is, and it's something that just completely conflicts with your own point of view. That would be very bad because your client would see this or whoever would see this on the other side of things, read it and go, oh, this is what this person thinks. I agree with that or I don't agree with that. But then when they come to you and actually want to do business with you, they find out that you have the opposite opinion. That would be very bad. So I want you to know, number one, this is not under any circumstances a quick fix. No, no, no. You must take the time to read the articles, to vet that source, to make sure that it is reliable and credible information because remember, your reputation is on the line. So you got to watch that, okay? So I want to give you some examples here. So if you were in real estate, as I mentioned, you could post an industry article. What would an industry article look like? How about 6 ways to avoid clogged pipes? As a homeowner, that's something that's important, right? You want to know, is there a way that I can avoid having clogged pipes? And as a realtor, you want your homeowners to know this so that you can then say, oh, hey, you need a plumber? I know a plumber. Or they've taken care of their pipes and now there's no problems when you then go to sell the house later, things like that. Maybe the financial industry, you know, we have all these people, and this goes for real estate and mortgage too. You guys can totally steal this idea. Credit, looking at your credit report, different kind of tax tips, things like that. Now you must, and especially in the financial world, because it is highly, highly, highly regulated, you must make sure, number 1, that you are allowed to post whatever you're posting. But number 2, you need to do your extra due diligence to make sure that what you're posting is indeed true, correct, factual, reliable information. What about the landscaping industry? There's tons of things that you can do, like different kinds of trends, different kinds of fences, different kinds of plants based on whatever season. Like, these are all things that you can find on the internet. The articles are out there, I promise you. Interior design, that is another like plethora of information. You can showcase your own things, but then you can intersperse in there different design styles so that then people can learn, oh, what kind of design style do I like? Also, health and wellness. Again, this is another industry where you especially need to make sure that you are vetting this information. You cannot just post willy-nilly. You need to make sure that what you're posting fits with your own morals and values and guidelines, and that it is true, factual, reliable information. If you were a business coach, I looked at the headlines earlier. If you're a business coach, another one, 6 ways to make your commute productive. So I don't really commute very far because I work from home. However, when I was commuting, I would listen to a lot of podcasts on the way. So that's another way to say, okay, business coach, personal development, whatever the case may be, let me listen to these podcasts. Or you could even share an episode of the podcast for your audience to listen and consume for themselves. The biggest thing about this is that whatever source that you go to, you are making sure, I probably said this 10 times already, sorry for those of you who are counting, it must be factual, it must be reliable, it must be credible, it must be good information. You must check it out first. You must. It's like, you know, signing a contract before reading it. That's not something that you want to do. So I encourage all of you to think about other ways that you can increase your credibility that doesn't have you, you know, reinventing the wheel. And which brings me to another reason of why you would want to do this. Not only is it going to give you credibility, but it's going to increase your own bandwidth. What I mean by that is we're busy. We don't have time to create all this brand new content all the time. If somebody's already created something and it's really useful for your audience, and you again have vetted it to make sure it's a good source, why not share it? You're spreading the love a little bit and saying, hey, this is a credible source, but also you're putting something valuable and useful out there for your audience. Now, one last point I want to make to you guys is that as you're looking for these articles and you're posting these things, I would not, and I'll repeat it, I would not, do not, skip this part, do not share a competing source. Okay? So if I am a real estate agent and I share an article from another real estate agent, especially if they're in my area, then what's to stop somebody from going to them instead of you or me in this conversation? So you see what I mean? It's important for you to make sure, again, reliable, credible source, but also that it is a non-competing source. If I am a landscaper, I am not going to share a blog post from another landscaper who's in my area. I might be willing to share an article from a landscaper who is across the country, because there's infinitely less chance that my client is going to try to call that person for a job. So So you see what I mean? You want to make sure that they're non-competing sources. That is very useful and important. So here we are. I've already talked for 10 minutes. I don't know how it happens, but I just talk a lot and talk fast. So if you guys found value in this, I am so very happy for that. If you guys have questions about this, please comment, send me a message, text, email, phone call, private message here, like whatever works. Go ahead and message me and I will answer all of your questions happily. And if you think that you know somebody who could benefit from this information, maybe it's another business who's trying to find their way on social media, please do share this video. What am I doing right now? Share this video. Not an article, post, share this video, please. Thank you. And with that being said, I will see you guys again next week for another bit of social media insight with me, Kylie Hilliard from Superb Social Media. All right, everybody, have a wonderful week. Bye.